Hello, cozy detectives, and welcome to the Blanket Fort Files. I'm Larissa,
And I'm Joy.
and we're here to report on all things comfy and cozy.
Yay! We
Finally,
figured it out. We do it.
we've been having tech issues.
But what are the odds that both of our computers would have had the same tech issue at the same time? You
I
know what I'm
know.
saying?
Well,
I feel
I'm
like
having
it's inevitable.
extra because, as per usual, it's internet for me. So we're having to basically jerry rig this podcast
Yeah.
episode. But
Yep.
it's fine. We did it.
But we did it. And we'll see how it works. I feel like
Uh,
it'll work good.
yeah.
But I just have to make sure I don't back up too much because I'll pull the towards me on accident if I'm not careful.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's good. It's good.
We're making it.
I know. I know. Sorry, my life.
Truly.
Uh,
But have you been? Have you been?
I've been good. I picked up another side quest tomorrow.
Ooh.
I know. Tomorrow I'm gonna go to a Noah Khan concert. I
Oh,
know I've never been.
yes. Have you listened to him?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
listening to him a lot more now. I honestly I was a very casual listener, but my friend really wanted to go, and so I was like, okay, well if we can find tickets. And then she got a text from one of her friends that two people. I'm also okay, I'm a little bit nervous because it's like on the floor. So like they had two friends that
Oh,
so I'm
wow.
like, oof, I'm out and about, I guess. But
Yeah.
it'll be fun. It'll be good. I'm excited. I keep trying to listen to I looked up the playlist for the set or whatever, however you
The
say it in
set
those
list,
words.
yeah.
Yeah, the set list.
I know what you meant.
Um, and I've been listening to that to try to be like, okay,
I
how
got it.
what's the vibes? I know. And
Ugh.
I feel like I'm gonna probably do either like my Blundstones maybe or like cowboy boots because I'm like, am I standing the whole time?
Okay.
Probably.
I can't help you with comfortable shoes for sure. What I've seen, because if there was a concert I would try to go to, I feel like it would be a Noah Khan concert. Like, I love his
Yeah.
music. So I've been seeing from people that go to the concert the top two outfits, a
Okay,
long
beautiful.
white skirt and denim overalls, like short overalls, which are
Oh.
both very you, I feel. At least the
They
overalls.
are. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I know, I saw people with the I started, looking up the Pinterest of it. I was like,
Yeah.
concert of it.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of plaid and stuff too, but it's gonna be, 90 something, and
Is
I'm
it
like,
outside?
"Oof." Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's later in the day, I'm pretty sure.
my sister, she didn't go to his one that just was here last week, but she went the last time he toured and it was outside and it was hot. But he did it at an indoor venue this past time, which is needed because we're in the triple digits right now. So
Oof.
yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
Oh, I'm
That is
so
rough.
excited for you.
I know. I'm excited. I really like the songs. They're, a little some of them feel like you're driving in the mountains and vibing, and some of them I'm like, oh, he going through it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's emo, but not like emo
Oh,
music, just like emo emotions.
no.
But
Right,
I
right.
s- I also saw a reel after he came in Texas, and it was like hundreds of thousands of Texans singing about growing up in the north,
Yeah,
or
that's so
however
funny.
many, thousands, hundreds, I don't know. But yeah, because it's like, oh yeah, all his songs are like, I grew up in Vermont.
I know, right? It was like bring me back to Maine, and I was like, I've never
Yeah.
been, but I'd like to go. So
Oh,
funny.
that's
I think that's
fun.
my most recent thing because we it had happened right as or the day of or the day after our last recording. And I was like, okay, I need to bring this up next time because I was like, that's my most
Yeah.
exciting new. I'm just trying to pick up side quests. I'm just doing the
I love
thing.
it.
So yeah.
I have 2 side quests as well. One,
Ooh.
I'm gonna save for after it happens, just because I'm like, there's a lot of things that could go wrong, so I don't wanna jinx it.
I get that.
Um, but the other thing, so I was a fan of her before I watched The Traders. Her name is Kristen Kish. She is like the current host of Top Chef. And she also like
Oh.
won when she was a contestant on there. And she has a restaurant in Austin, and she has a memoir come out last year. So she's doing like a cooking book event.
Oh,
So we're gonna go down to
cool.
Austin in a few weeks to that. So I'm very excited.
That's cool. Like, you watch her cook or, like, you cook like, what do you mean? Like, how's
It's
the
like
slash?
it's you eat. It's just like a dining experience at her restaurant, but she's like talking about stories from her book and stuff like that. Which I
Oh, that's
actually
so
read her
cool.
book earlier this year, and it was really good.
That's so cool. What
So,
kinda cuisine?
it's like fine dining, so it'll be a little
Ooh,
like
a little
fancy
more
pants.
fancy.
Yeah, but so I'm very
Oh,
excited.
that's exciting. I know I
Yeah.
have one more side quest I'm in the process of. It
Ooh.
does involve a plane ticket, but I haven't bought said plane ticket, and so I'm like I'm like in the same thing. I'm like, "Okay, I don't wanna jinx my side quest."
Yeah.
So, at some point,
Well,
I will definitely talk
in a
about it.
future episode, we can talk about our plane side quest because mine also involves a plane.
Yes.
And then we can, if it all goes to plan, we can talk about those.
Alright. I think it will. I think it
Yeah.
will, because the coziest blanket for it, it's good vibes. We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it.
Manifest.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. We got it. We're good. We're good.
uh,
Ugh.
but um I do have a couple little like summer, they weren't summer bucket list items, but they were with my little friend group that I do like a monthly activity with. Um
Cute.
So for July, we did like a little pool party, and like everyone brought little like pool
Fun.
snacks or pool food. And I haven't developed it yet, but I got a disposable camera for the day.
I love it.
So I do need to take that and get all that film developed. But it was a really fun day, just like all hanging because like I go to the pool almost every weekend, but either just by myself or with my sister. But it was fun to like be with all my friends and
Yeah.
stuff. And then this past weekend, we did a PowerPoint night.
Oh, I keep seeing those.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. For mine, because like originally we were because I just wanted to do a PowerPoint night, but then some people like weren't like super excited. They're like, I don't like presenting, and I'm like, well, we're all friends. It's like
Yes.
low stakes.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, well, we could do it like a theme. So we everyone was kind of like, oh, maybe conspiracy theories, like, oh, what's the theory that you could like potentially believe in? But then that was like difficult for some people. So then we kind of just expanded it to like, what's like a rabbit hole you could fall into.
Oh.
But I was like, oh, I still kind of want to do a conspiracy theory. And so mine was what conspiracy theories I think all of my friends could believe. So it was
I
really
like it.
fun. And then me being me, I didn't make anything, but I did get a snack to match each theory. Like it was an on theme
I
snack
like
because
it.
it's me. And then so I did like a reveal for each one, and there was like a piece of foil on it. So I made everyone wear a tinfoil hat at the end.
Cute.
It
I
was a
love
lot of
that
fun.
theme.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so
It was a
fun.
lot of fun.
Yeah, I keep
So
seeing those pop up and they just look like yeah, they look very I keep saying fun, but that's exactly what it looks like.
yeah, it was
I
very fun.
also
But you have to get like the
I feel
right group of people to do it because it's like
yes.
you have to know each other fairly well. You have to be comfortable around each other. But if you've got that group, definitely do it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you gotta have the right vibe for that. But it's also the ones too where like I've seen, like, really large like a bachelorette style where it's, like, who kissed who, and it's, like and then, like, they're not showing the screen, obviously, but, like, you're supposed to
Yeah.
guess whoever like, I just thought that that was hilarious. But the cameras I feel like I talked about this maybe once. This is, like, my version of the disposable. So,
Ooh.
I got added at, and I fell for it. But I really like it. So it's this is obviously not sponsored, but Camp Snap Pro is what I got,
Oh.
and it, like, gives the feel and the vibe of it because it's, screenless, so you just have to
Okay.
go with the vibe of whatever you take,
Yeah.
but this, you can, like, plug into your computer, and it looks very, um, like but disposable. It looks like very
Okay.
disposable camera vibes,
But
and
it's not
so
where you have to get the film developed and stuff.
Yeah, nope, it's not film, it is digital, but
It's like
it
an
gives
S
the feeling of
I
film.
I feel like I might need to get that because I think the disposable cameras are really fun, but they're honestly kind of expensive because you have to buy the
Right?
camera and then you have to pay to get it developed versus if you do
Yeah.
it that like, you'd still have to pay for the prints or whatever, but I may send me that after.
Yeah, yeah, I'll let you know, 'cause the other thing that was cool, it was like 10 extra bucks, but I was like, "You know what, whatever," is the handle pops out, try not to
Oh,
destroy my
nice.
nails, but the
Yeah.
handle pops out and it's like a C to C cord actually, so you could
Mhm.
plug it in and even plug it into your phone if you really wanted to see
Oh,
it,
yeah.
but so I like that idea if you, like, happen to take a photo, like, of your friend or something, and they're like, "Oh, I want that photo," you could just, like, put it
Text
on
it
their
to 'em.
phone,
That's
but
cool.
it's really fun. I took it to the 2 things that I did earlier this year. I'm gonna take it this weekend,
Yay.
so I'm excited. I feel like it'll get fun. The only thing that is kinda scary is it really is based upon vibes, and so, like, I haven't had any type of camera like, I'm sure you felt this too, where, like, I can't check what that looks like. Like, I just,
Yeah.
"Okay, hopefully that's
Yeah, I
it."
feel like if I was gonna bring that to a concert, I would still take some photos on my phone because that's what I did at the
Yeah.
pool party, like, I used the disposable camera, but I also was like, "Let me grab that on phone just in
I
case."
know, because I didn't realize that I had only like, the only actual photos that I took of Hilary Duff was on that. And
Oh.
I was like, "I hope this worked," because I, like, left and I was like, "Oopsies."
And you haven't,
It
like,
was
tested
like,
yet?
"Okay." Y I did look at them, they're okay, but, like, you can't even zoom, so it's just, like, what you get is what you
Oh,
get. And so I
yeah.
was like, "Okay," like, there's no, like, high quality. Like, some of the people's, like, crazy high quality ones of her, like, it basically looks like they're also on
Yeah.
stage. I'm like, "That ain't this."
But honestly, there's something kind of special about that, like, most of the memories you have are, like, in your mind and in the
Yeah.
experience, so I think that's kind of cool
Yes.
too.
Yes, that's supposed to be, like, the point of it, and I also feel like that's very Noah Kahan, so Imma do it.
Yeah.
Imma do
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
So
And, you know, I mean, that's how people experience concerts back in the day,
yeah.
but then also it's how often are we actually going back and watching our concert footage? Because
Yes. The
not
other thing
often.
I did do this at Hilary Duff because I saw somebody else talk about this, and I think maybe they just posted it, but I did a lot of, like, actually facing the camera at me and my friend and, like, us singing
Yeah,
along
I've seen
because
people
it's
doing that
like
more. It's really sweet. You're capturing
yeah.
the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, well, I can have some videos of her, but, like, again, like, what's my likelihood of going back and, like, zooming in and being like, "Oh, I" like, you know what I mean? But, like, if it's, like,
Right.
me and my friend, like, that's a good moment in
Memory.
time type of
Yeah,
deal.
that makes sense.
So, yes.
All
Okay,
right. We wanna
I'm
get into
excited.
our theme.
The
It's
theme.
kind of good for this time of year, we're getting into back to school.
Yeah,
Shout out to our Cozy Back to School season
yeah,
1. We can maybe link
yeah.
that.
True,
Um,
true.
so we are talking about cozy science. I know you do the Daffy Duck voice way better
Science.
than I do. There you go. So we've got two, they're both TV shows,
Mhm.
which I'm excited you're doing one that you can feel better connected to, but
Yeah.
I am gonna need to do my own case file on the one that you were gonna do at some point because I do really love that and I want to like do the deep dive. So
I like it, I like it.
um so
It'll give
I'll
us more for La Futura.
exactly. So I'm up first this week. And my case file is the Magic School Bus.
I loved this.
Okay, I was
Her
gonna ask, I was
outfits,
like, did
prime.
you
Yeah, this I
so
did watch,
good.
yeah.
Okay, good, good, good. Oh, we could have just switched then. Oh well. So this is yeah, I have good connections with both of them, but this is an animated series that was originally based off of a book series. I don't know if you ever read those picture
Hmm.
books when you were a kid.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I have
No, I didn't know that.
some notes on the show and then some notes on the book just because there was a little bit of overlap.
That's
But the
cool.
show and from 1994 to 1997, I didn't realize it was only airing for 3 years. Obviously, there was a lot of reruns
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff, but
wild.
only 3 years, 52 episodes, and it was on PBS, our favorite.
Yes.
So if anyone is somehow unfamiliar with Magic School Bus, what are you doing with your life? But it stars Miss Frizzle aka the Stellar Outfits, and she's this wacky teacher and school teacher, and she only has 8 students. And obviously, like, I knew that because they have each of the characters and they have their like one personality trait, but in my head I just didn't wrap my head that there's only 8 kids in this class, and I'm like,
Yeah,
wow, they're getting
smallest
a
class ever.
really good education. um that would not happen today, but the Miss Frizzle is voiced by Lily Tomlin, who's just like a very legendary actress. But I have talked about Grace and Frankie a couple times on the podcast, and she plays Frankie in Grace and Frankie. So yeah,
Oh,
there's that
okay, cool, cool,
connection.
cool. Because
Hmm.
I was like, my brain can't like picture her off the top of my head, but okay, I'm caught up now.
Yeah,
I still need to
she's
watch that. That started popping up on some of like the lists of like underrated but such good shows, and I'm like,
yeah, and she's the like hippie one out of the two. So
nice.
but the uh 8 students that they have are Arnold, who is like the really like paranoid, anxious one. He's always like, I don't want to go on another field trip. There's Carlos, Da, Keisha, Phoebe, Ralphie, Tim, and Wanda. And I was very proud of myself that I was able to list all of them from memory.
Wow,
I
that's
know. It took
awesome.
me a second towards the end. I was like, wait, but and this is one of the differences between the books and the show. There were actually 19 students in the class in the books, but
Oh, okay, that tracks.
I could but I don't think they included other characters in the book. I think they were just like background students essentially. So
Oh, but like
they
there's like the main cast, and then it's
mhm,
like the other
side
teachers in the
characters.
school and stuff. You're
Yeah.
like, mm.
Exactly. But they just completely cut those out for the show, basically for storytelling and timing. Um, and there's not really character development. Again, it's 8, and they're all kind of very one note. They all have their little catchphrases that they're kind of funny and cute.
Cute.
And then Miss Frizzle has a pet chameleon named Liz, and then
Yes.
obviously the magic school bus. And this is basically
Obvious.
a magical school bus that can shrink down to like a microscopic level. It can camouflage, it can fly, it can swim. It can basically do anything you want.
Facts.
Um, but essentially, each episode, Miss Frizzle is taking her students on a field trip to learn kind of like a hands-on experience about whatever that class's topic was. And I'll get into a couple of my favorite episodes or like ones that kind of stand out to me. But so if they're learning about digestion, guess what? They're going inside a body to learn digestion.
Yeah. Some of the have you seen the guy that does the reactions to this where he's like, "What was going on in that classroom?"
Right?
I thought it
um
was fine.
yeah, and then this is kind of another difference between the book and the show, and I had forgotten about this in the show until I was looking into it again, and I was like, "Oh, yeah." So in the books, it's there's not really an explanation, it's just very fantastical, very, like, sci-fi-esque almost, but then in the show, after every episode, there would be this kind of, like, disclaimer segment where they had this producer, and that was voiced by Malcolm Jamal Warner, and he would receive phone calls from, like, quote, unquote, "viewers" about things, and they'd be like, "That actually couldn't happen," and so he'd be like, "Well, through the magic of TV." So
Oh,
I
that's
don't know
so
if you
funny.
remember that.
No, not at all. It would be
Yeah,
like if we were like, "You can't go in a nose," he'd be like, "Yeah, we're aware, but it's magical."
yeah, and he always had Liz, like, with him, so I it was just, like it was always maybe the last, like, 3 to 5 minutes of the episode, um,
Oh.
and so I don't know I couldn't find particularly why they decided to add that in because it doesn't
Yeah.
it's kind of like a humor thing. I don't know if they just, like, got the actor and they were like, "We really wanna give you a part, so we're just gonna make this." Although the one thing I did find, I guess in earlier, episodes, there was also a female producer, but I guess
No.
like personality wise, like the audience wasn't really vibing with her, so they got rid of her and then just kept the male producer played by Malcolm. So
Whoa,
yeah,
snap.
I don't know.
It's like I always think of the, like, Aunt Viv swap in Fresh
Right.
Prince,
Well,
and
and
you're
this
just like,
I don't think this one was necessarily like replaced her. I think they kind of had the both and then just cut her.
"Oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha." That
So,
makes more sense.
yeah. And then I don't know if you knew this, but it's obviously a very iconic theme song, and that was sung
Yeah.
by Little Richard.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wait, do I know
So,
Little Richard?
oh yeah,
Should I
I
know Little
mean,
Richard?
yeah, you should. He was yeah, he's just got like a very great voice and just like very like fun, funky kind of guy. So,
Well,
I'm
I
sure
know.
if
Did
you
you
look him up on like YouTube, you'll be like, "Oh yeah." Like I can't think of
Oh,
a
yeah,
song
like,
off the
that's the
top of my
guy.
head right now. Let me see what I can find you. But yeah,
Do
he's
you have a Miss Frizzle favorite outfit? Or, like,
uh
favorite, like, something
this'll
clothing-wise?
this'll probably surprise no one, but well, I like her as an outfit, her space one.
Yeah.
And then I also like when she had like her earrings were like the bus, and
Yeah,
she would
that's
like
cute.
summon the bus with her earrings.
I feel like, yeah, definitely the most iconic one I can think of is that space one because she also had the hat with, like, the solar
Yeah.
system.
Okay, I was pretty sure. Okay, so he was like really big in like the 50s, so that may be why you're not. But Tutti
Mm.
Frutti, I was like, I think that's him, but I didn't want to say it and be wrong, but it was him. Um, so I'm sure if you kind of like listen to some of it,
Yeah.
it might sound familiar. But yeah, I'll send you some stuff. But
Yes. My, like, Spotify starts becoming him,
yeah, and nothing wrong with a little bit of oldies. But yeah,
honestly.
he does the theme song. Um, and then a little bit of backstory of how the books came to be, because I think you
Mm.
kind of need to understand that to get to understand the show. But I have a quote because the books were produced by Scholastic. And so this is a quote from a former vice president, Craig Walker. And he said, in the 1980s, during the great era for picture book sales, we kept
Oh.
getting requests from teachers who were interested in seeing more picture books in the science category. And then he said, so we had the breakthrough idea of putting curriculum science inside a story. So obviously, like you can really tell a lot of, I guess, English and all reading and all of that, obviously in books and the history and the social sciences. But I feel like science was kind of lacking in stories. And so
Yeah.
this was kind of like the first kids book to really do that. Um, so it was written by Joanna Cole and illustrated by Bruce Deggan. And they said typically it would take about a year to write one book because the first
Whoa.
half of the year, it would be about 6 months of research and then another 6 months to write and illustrate the book. So I think that's kind of, again, we always talk about the artistry and the work that goes
Yeah.
into creating something, and to think, okay, we're spending a year to do a children's book. Like, I don't feel like
Yeah.
that's the case these days. And so I just kind of appreciated how much effort they put into that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that feels like a lot, but honestly, I love it because it's also like you especially if you're gonna be teaching kids something, you wanna make sure that your facts are correct.
Right.
Even though it's
Exactly.
fantastical and all of these things,
Yeah,
but
but they still get into the science of it.
exactly, and, like, the point of it is to learn about, I don't know, the atom of like, the cell of something something. They have to know that in order to
Yeah.
even create the
And then
world. It's like,
explain it
learn the
to a
rules.
kid. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that.
And so when they were kind of starting to turn this book series into the show, it was funded by Scholastic, the Carnegie Corporation of New York, and the U.S.
Ooh.
Department of Energy. So they were like, these kids gonna learn
Oh.
their science.
Whoa, that's
um,
intense.
yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool. And then I didn't know this, but it was actually the first fully animated series to air on PBS.
Oh,
So they were a little trailblazer in that way.
yeah.
And then um obviously there's other science shows, aka the one you weren't going to do, but I feel like as well as the one that you are going to cover, but a lot of scientists and researchers now have kind of credited Magic School Bus and similar programs on
Absolutely.
PBS as to like why they chose that field for their career. So I just think that's kind of special. And then there was a reboot in 2017 called The Magic School Bus Rides Again. And basically, Miss Frizzle was a professor, and then she
Mm.
also had her younger sister, Fiona, and that was voiced by Kate McKinnon. And then
No.
the theme song for that version was done by Lin Manuel Miranda. So he basically like redid a cover
Oh.
of it. So yeah. And they did that a little bit, and I think you can still watch that one on Netflix. And then I didn't come across this again in my research, mainly because I was focusing on the animation. But I think I've seen rumors floating around that they're potentially doing like a live action
What?
of this. And I don't know. We'll see. But I just feel like that's going to be way too much CGI and stuff. But
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
where my brain
know.
starts going. Not everything needs that version
Yeah.
of a reboot. Like,
Yeah,
we could just leave it animated. It's doing great.
exactly. And then I was just going to talk about a few of my favorite
Please.
episodes, or like the ones that kind of stayed with me. Um, so actually, the very first episode, which this shouldn't surprise anyone, but there is a Let's Get Lost in Space. So they actually do go to space in the very first episode, and that's they're like,
Cute.
yeah, we're going for an adventure. If if there was one, if you were to say like name of a Magic School Bus episode, gut reaction, I would say Inside Ralphie. Like that one was just like so formative and like a core memory locked in. Like Ralphie has this like infected wound, and they like shrink down and go inside his knee, and then they learn about like the immune system, and it's kind of like grody, but like that is locked in my brain.
I know it, but I'm like, my thing again, being an adult versus being a kid, I'm like, what Ralphie doing the whole time? Just sitting there while they're just like vibing, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
what's he doing?
yeah, like they're inside me. No, I think they set up like a camera, and he was like watching them inside
Oh,
him. And I'm like, that would make me pass out. Um, and then this is
that is
also
so
one
funny.
that should come as a surprise, but there's an episode called Get Ready, Get Set, Dough, and they learn
Oh,
like baking chemistry. And so they like go into a bakery, and then they shrink down into like a cake and learn about how like the food chemicals create this reaction to like bake the cake. And so obviously that was very
what?
formative as a child as well.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember like all the places they go to. I remember once I feel like they go like and they're like around dinosaurs
Hmm.
once. I just remember them like going in and this is maybe I hope hopefully I'm not DIYing this episode, but like in the yard or something and they're
Oh,
just like in
hmm.
I'm just like you're like
Yeah, like they
small and
shrink
kind of like the Honey I
down.
Shrunk the Kids vibes like
Basically,
I'm like
yeah. I feel like most episodes involve them getting shrunk down.
right? I know.
Yeah.
It's funny too because even in my head, even though they went to space, in my head they still like shrunk down and then went to space. And I think it's just because it happened so much, my brain's just like combining.
Yeah. They're always shrunk down. It's fine.
Cute. Well, what's a couple of the extra things maybe you haven't said that has it be cozy for you?
Oh, sure. Obviously the nostalgia of it. And we've talked about this before with other like educational kids programming. I just don't feel they make it either at all or in the same way or as much as when we were kids. And I feel very
True.
fortunate to have grown up in then. And I also kind of like the idea. So Miss Frizzle's like catchphrases that like make mistakes, get messy. And so I
Cute.
think there's
Yeah,
also
that's
that good
good.
reminder of like that's making mistakes is the best way to learn, and like getting messy and trying things is really how you learn. So I think that's a good reminder as adults.
Yeah. I like it.
So
That's so good.
yeah,
I didn't remember that she had a catchphrase.
yeah. They
Cute.
literally all do. Like Dorothy Ann's like, according to my research.
Cute. I know,
Yeah.
because I tried to look up some of like the fun quotes to mine, and there is some that I remembered that I was like, okay, I'm gonna write these down.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear about yours because like I definitely watched a few episodes growing up, and there's a couple that people will like still reference
Yes, I have some of
today.
those.
Um, and I really hope you're gonna talk about one that it's like very much the center of your Venn diagram. So I hope you talk about it.
Oh, there's a few of them that like they've done. So I'll get into it. So
Okay.
my case file is Mythbusters,
Nice.
which aired from, I didn't know this. This is crazy. 2003 to 2018. What?
Dang, that was a long
What?
time.
I know. That was
Wow.
like way longer than I thought. I think what it was, I must have just thought that there was, because then there's no way I've seen all these episodes. Like, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I thought there was just repeats on TV, but it wasn't. It was like new episodes, and I had
Oh
no
wow.
idea. It was on the Discovery Channel, and I think the thing that felt more connected to me about this, and that's why I changed my case file to this, is because I remember like the plot of the show basically is there's two main guys. So there's Jamie and Heineman and Adam Savage, and they're like the main hosts. And then there's also like another team that they bring in, I think in season 2, and that's Carrie, Tori, and Grant, and they're kind of like the second squad that has, sometimes they'll do kind of like even like a TV show, you have like an A plot and a B plot type of a deal.
Uh-huh.
Like they'll do maybe a lesser, not as big one, kind of helps fill the time of it. And also you get like another myth that maybe is busted, maybe isn't. So that's the whole plot, is like, is the myth busted? Is it plausible? Or is it um not approved? Where's the actual wording of it? I wrote it down because I was like, there we go, confirmed. So is it confirmed, plausible, busted? Or a couple times they had inconclusive, where it was like, well,
Oh.
maybe we don't know, maybe we do know, maybe like in a different scenario or something like that, which I thought was very fun. So I didn't realize that they tested over like 1,000 myths during this show.
Dang. I didn't even realize there would be that many.
I know. It's like the opposite of Lizzie McGuire, where I felt like Lizzie McGuire was on for forever and it was 2 seasons. And I feel like this was
Yeah.
on maybe for like 4 or 5 years, and it was on for like 14 seasons. Or
Yeah.
it's like, what are we doing? What's happening here? I mean, it's really fun. It's you basically watch them walk through the scientific method of it, where they're like, okay,
Mhm.
this is the myth. So the myth that I'll use as the example is one that is very recent that I remembered, because they do in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes! I knew it! Let's go! I was like, if she doesn't talk about the Pirates of the Caribbean episode, podcast over.
I know. I did forget though, because they do have a YouTube channel, so that's part of it. We're like, okay, if you're looking to
Yeah.
watch it, there's some stuff on YouTube. And I was
Nice.
like, okay, I have to rewatch these clips, because I was like, is my brain remembering it correctly? Like very similarly to like why
Yeah.
they always shrink it even in space. And it did remember it correctly, but I didn't remember that kind of the whole time they do a what's it like, they have like the funny one, then like the very serious guy, so they kind of put them in these caricatures of
Yeah.
things a little bit between the two main hosts, which did actually behind the scenes stunt and cause some friction, because I know I think that I know, isn't that kind of sad though? Like they've said, both of them, that they didn't really super get along during the show, but I think it's because it was
Oh, that's
high
a bummer.
stress. I know,
Yeah.
they were the 2 main leads, and you could tell sometimes they really were having a good time. I think it was just a
Yeah.
lot on them, and the show became so popular that then they got, like, international
Right.
people watching, and then the pressure of that, because Discovery Channel wasn't really known for, like, these, like, really
Big
long-lasting style
shows.
shows, and so I
Yeah.
think it was just a lot that was on them. But
Yeah.
back to pirates. So,
Eh.
using this as the thing, in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, at the very beginning, not at the very beginning, like the beginning-ish of the first
Yeah.
one, it is Will Turner and Jack Sparrow, and they're trying to get out to the ship. And the way that they do that so that they go unnoticed is they take a small wooden, what do you call it? It's not a kayak. It's like
Like
a
a
little boat.
canoe.
Canoe, yeah.
Yeah.
And they sink it, like, so their heads are, how do I say this? Like their bodies are in the water, their heads are above water, the canoes above them. And then they pull the
Mhm.
canoe all the way to the bottom. They basically create like an air bubble. So they're breathing, they're
Yeah.
underwater with the canoe. And that was what the myth was like. Is that possible that you could go in a canoe underwater with the air bubble, all of it? Do you remember what the outcome was?
I don't. I know. I hope you will tell me. And I was. It's just because as soon as you said you were doing MythBusters, because I don't think you've ever mentioned liking that show, and so when you texted me that you're switching to that, I was like, because that is the episode. When I think of MythBusters, I'm like Pirates of the Caribbean, and obviously, like I like that movie a lot, but it's not the level of you do. And I was like, if Joy doesn't talk about this episode,
I
I
think
don't
about
think
it
she's a real
every
fan.
time.
No,
Every time that
literally.
scene in the movie comes
Same,
up, my
but I don't
brain's like,
remember the outcome, so I'm so glad you're gonna tell me.
okay. Unfortunately, dun dun dun, also movie magic. 'Twas
Yeah.
busted.
Okay, that's what if, like, you were gonna tell me, like, I had to bet money on it, that was what I was gonna say, so
Yeah, and I think a big reason of it, if I'm remembering correctly, is like the arm strength of like you're holding that underwater with an air bubble. One, it's like
yeah, and it
leaking
would
because it's
want the
wood,
yeah, and the
but like it the buoyancy
buoyancy,
of
yeah.
that,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
buoyancy,
just
I was like, "What is the word?"
yeah, that just did not happen. But it did inspire the show overall. That's kind of the plot. So they would do that with larger things. They would do with smaller things. They did a MacGyver episode that also, and a
Oh.
couple of those were plausible. And I remember that off the top of my head, and I was like, "That's right, MacGyver." Um, and then some of the stuff kind of throughout time, I think they were absolutely doing their best to perform all of the trial and error of everything as best they could, but some things I think have been even busted since, which is crazy. Or
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say, I feel like sometimes it's been like, "Oh, well, this was done on Mythbusters," and so some people take that as, like, fact, and I'm like, they do,
yeah.
like, one test to prove it, and there's a lot of other
Yeah.
factors. It's like the one
Yeah, or stuff where like they realized they didn't do all the factors, you know? Like they would sometimes
yeah,
redo stuff if I'm remembering that part
yeah.
correctly too,
I think
which is the one that you're thinking of.
the one that I think of a lot as well that people reference all the time is the, like, running in the rain makes you,
Yes.
like,
That's the
more
same
wet
one I was
than
gonna say.
walking.
Mhm, mhm. Because I
And I'm
think
like,
what
there's
it
so
was
many
that they
factors of like how fast are you running? How
yes.
much is it raining? How long are like there's just so many factors with that, I feel.
Yes, and again, they did their best because, like,
Right,
even
of
at one
course.
point, they, like, turn on a wind fan and they're doing that, but I remember at some point after that episode aired that people were saying that there was a factor that was missing from it, and that would have changed things potentially,
Mhm.
but did I walk in the rain for years after that? Yes, I did, because I was like, "It doesn't make a difference, I'm hurting myself more." Or one of the episodes was for, like, a tailgate of a truck. If you put the tailgate down or the tailgate is up, does it impact the gas mileage?
Oh.
Yeah. So tailgate up. If again, this is joy, but I'm almost positive this is some of these are just like locked in. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
the tailgate is up and like locked, it creates an air bubble, and so it's having the air go over the bed of the truck versus down. It's going deeper down, so it actually makes the truck drag a little bit more if
Mm.
the tailgate is down. So it does impact your
Interesting.
gas mileage. I know all the things locked in there, but it inspired a lot of people to go into STEM because it was fun. They were having fun.
Yeah.
They would a big thing for them was explosions. So they were just like, and what they would do is if so like one of the myths that they busted had something to do with like somebody like smoking on the toilet and would it explode the toilet type of a deal. And they were
Yeah.
like, no, this myth is busted. And then they got to a place, and I think that's kind of like where you're starting to like up and up and up the ante for yourselves because of ratings,
Yeah.
is what they would start to do would be they would like add C4. What if it's like, okay, the household cleaners don't explode, but what if explosive explode? And I'm like, oh, okay,
Oh my goodness.
obviously explosive explodes are,
Yeah.
but it was fun, and they would do things all the time. They did, oh, they did a lot of high speed tests too, as well. And then in the B team, uh, my favorite, unfortunately, he did pass. I think in the 2020
Oh.
time period of it, but Grant was really technically smart with a lot of things. One of the ones that, in looking at their YouTube channel, is one of the highest, most popular viewed video is him testing if you turn a light bulb on and off if you're just leaving the room quickly. Basically, if I'm going from my living room to take out the garbage, should I turn the light off or should I leave the light on to
Oh, like to
to
save
save
electricity?
a which one do you think it is? If so say I'm leaving the living room, I'm gonna take the trash out, and then I'm coming right back.
I would say it would take more because to like go on and off uses more energy, is my guess.
Right? So you would think that, but no, believe it or not. It's better to turn off, which seems kind of like I'm not gonna leave my lights on during like the day if I leave for my 8-hour shift, but I don't think
Right.
I would turn the light off if I was just going to like take the garbage out.
No.
But I guess what it is especially, and this is what I was surprised about too, because again, the show was on for so long. I was expecting them not to have LEDs in the equation when they were doing that test, but they did.
Yeah.
And because the spike is so small, it was like 0.01 seconds or something like that for it to catch up. So even though the on and off switch does create a spike in the electricity, because the spike is small and it gets to stability so quickly, the time of it on would be more than having it off for that time and then popping it back on,
Uh,
if that
then
makes
I just
sense.
feel like you're creating this sort of like mania of like, I gotta turn every light off every
Yeah, right.
5 seconds.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
don't
well,
create any
no.
mania of it. Yeah. I just think it's so fun to, like, see all the different myths that they would do and things. They did a
Yeah.
lot
It's
of
like stuff you wouldn't even
racing
think about.
myths, right? It
Yeah.
was a lot of and a lot of kind of, like, old wives' tales or folklore things or
Yeah.
that like, the legends throughout time that slowly which is, again, really fun, especially if you're a teen watching this. I feel like it's more geared towards that. I wouldn't say it's particularly geared towards children,
Yeah.
but maybe from what I remember, I don't believe they curse or anything like that, so it's more just, like, them playing with fire and exploding things maybe
Yeah,
little
like a
kiddos
family
wouldn't like.
friendly.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But some of their phrases, speaking of phrases, is "failure is always an option," which I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
you know,
Kind
that's
of along the
not."
same line, make
Yeah,
mistakes,
yeah.
get messy.
I remember Adam saying this is, "I reject your reality and substitute my own." And I'm like, "That's so funny."
That's funny. Yeah.
I feel like it was like him arguing with Jamie about something, and he said that. And then another one, it was, "The only difference between screwing around and science is writing it down." That's kinda funny.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's kind of like their vibe. He was supposed to be the more
Yeah.
jokery one, so he had a lot of those type of
Yeah.
phrases, but he still has a YouTube channel. It's not
Oh,
Mythbusters connected, but it is in that vein for sure.
similar.
He does
Yeah.
a lot of kind of in the middle of things. He did a lot of like modeling, prop work, a lot of things like that, which is really fun to see because I feel like props are just one of those things where sometimes they can get overlooked on
Yeah.
a set or something because it just looks so real or it feels so real. But I feel like he nailed it, and so it's really cool to see some of his props from projects that he's done.
Yeah, that's
And then
cool.
Jamie stepped more out of the media light of stuff after the show. And I think he more focused on, from what I could tell, kind of like the engineering side of it, but not in front of the camera. So I'm not even sure
Okay.
exactly what he's doing
Yeah.
now. But I think that it was a great show. It was very fun. They definitely had a spike. And then sometimes on Adam's YouTube channel, he will talk about stuff from Mythbusters, which is cool because he'll have like Q
Oh,
and
kind of
A's where
behind the
people will send
scenes.
in questions
Yeah.
to get some more fun behind the scenes of that, or like, what did you think about this, or what would change it now if you were to do that type of a myth today. It's
Yeah.
really fun. It's a fun show. It's kind of tricky to find, but even when I went on YouTube, they had a episode going live, like not like obviously new, but like they were playing an episode, and I was like, okay, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool. Or they'll
That
have
is
snippets
cool.
of
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
kind of like cropped down, but still available to see. So if you're missing any of
Cool.
those, it's not all of them, but it's a
Need the
good chunk.
vibes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
always fun.
I was gonna ask kind of in the same way, what are some like obviously you've talked about episodes you remember, but is like any why I find it cozy or nostalgic or whatever?
I think it was fun seeing the thing that sticks with me from the show is it was really fun seeing people do honestly the scientific method, but not in
Or like boring way.
a yeah, right? I was like, how do I phrase this? Not in a way that felt very clerical. It
Yeah.
felt like they were having fun. They were doing their own things. They were getting results from it, and it was interesting projects, and I'm not surprised at all that it had a spike in STEM, or people will credit the show for them getting into STEM,
Yeah.
because it was just really fun to see. And again, it's like I'm however old then, and I don't have the availability to go out in the middle of nowhere with like a car and see if I can drop it off a cliff and what happens there. Like, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
the only way I'm ever going to see what this looks like is watching it through that. Um, I think that's my biggest thing with it. And honestly, I'm guessing that there wasn't, because it probably had so many reruns, or at least I presumed that they were reruns. It wasn't competing. It's weird because it's on the same time as Gilmore Girls, but it wasn't like competing with Gilmore Girls time slot or
Right.
anything. And
Yeah.
so I feel like it's one of those shows where you're like, okay, I checked Disney Channel, I checked like PBS, I
It
checked
to
these, and I'm
me,
like,
it feels like it's like a hotel show, like, it's one of those shows where you
oh
really only watch
yeah.
when you're in a hotel, you know?
It's because it's like always on, and so you're like, okay.
Right. It's like that, Chopped, Naked and Afraid.
Yes, yes, or, like, sometimes the HGTV of it
Oh,
all where you're like,
mhm.
they're
Yeah, House
international
Hunters.
buyers
Yes.
and they're looking where you're like, "Okay."
Yes. We need to do an HGTV episode, that would be
We
so fun.
should.
Because I was such a
We
Trading
should.
Spaces girl.
There is so much there. Yeah, I have some
Yeah.
funny, like I don't remember the show fully, but I have a funny story of watching. Do you remember Christopher Lowell? I don't remember what his show
Mhm.
was. Maybe I remember that, and then me going into my room and being like, "This all needs to be changed." I was like moving stuff around. It's one of those kid times.
Oh, yeah, the sleep submission.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
Trading
times.
Spaces had this
Yes.
one, designer
The
Hildy.
sand,
Yes, and
crazy.
the straw. Like,
Oh,
I
that's what it
think
was.
they just had her on there to piss people off, like, she was just there to,
Honestly,
like, ruin lives.
honestly, honestly, that's a wild show. They're like, "Ah," and you can tell immediately in
Yeah.
their faces if they hate it. They're like, "Ah."
Yeah, so funny.
Yeah.
I loved it as a kid. I was like, "Give me the drama."
I know, but it's so funny as a kid, sometimes I'll look back and be like, "Why didn't I think that was worse?" And sometimes I look back and I'm like, "Yeah, I still thought that was bad," and I was, like, 10
Yeah,
or whatever. I was like, "Gross, don't do this in my house."
exactly.
So
Alright.
funny. What's your
So
2%?
you beat me.
Hey.
So mine isn't exactly, like, super fun, but it has been something that I've been doing, for a little over a month on a daily basis, and it kind of has helped me. So I every evening, I set my timer for 15 minutes, and I try to do as
Yes.
much cleaning as I can in just those 15 minutes,
I love
because
it.
I was finding it's like I don't really have, like, a ton of clutter, but it would just be, like, a few things just need, like, to be put back in
Yeah.
their place. And then I was finding, like, you can actually get a lot done in 15 minutes
Yeah.
when you're not overthinking it. Like, I can mop the floors, or I can vacuum, or I can dust, like, a lot in just 15 minutes. And in the grand scheme of my day, I'm like, 15 minutes is so short. And so it's
Mhm.
really, like, helped I don't know, get out of my mind of like, oh, I gotta clean. It's like you just do it for 15 minutes. I put on my audiobook and I'm like, wow, I got so much done.
Yes, I love that. I started doing what I'm calling the closing shift.
Mhm.
I feel like I saw it
I
again
love
on
it.
Instagram,
All
but
kinds of like cozy
I know, I'm
vibes.
like, whatever way I can trick my brain into cleaning,
Exactly.
I'll do it. But it does make me
Yeah.
feel good when I wake up and it's like nice. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and it's like it helps keep things like I think for me it was like I was always like saving cleaning for like the weekend and it just was like
Mm,
I was like, "Oh, this is gonna take all day or all afternoon," but it's like if you do a little bit over time, then you
yes.
can get into more of the, like, deeper cleaning projects on the weekend or just, like, kind of chip away at them over time, so that way you're
Yeah.
not having to do because it's like weekends, you already have so many chores, like laundry and meal prep and all of that, and so just, like,
Mhm.
taking some of the, like, weekend chores and, like, sprinkling them throughout the week has really helped.
Yes. I haven't done this, but I did think about this also for the closing shift is the night I guess like on like Friday night before the weekend,
Mhm.
putting the clothes in the washing machine but not turning it on. And so then I could get up and
Oh.
just put the soap, turn it on, and it's not
Yeah.
even like it's a huge chore. It's like a half a chore. Like
Yeah.
it feels
See, but for me, I'm
like
like,
I'm doing less.
that's the easiest part. It's the like, oh, I
Oh,
gotta
moving
fold
it.
and put it away.
I know.
Ugh, I
I
hate that.
know. I do hate that.
I
I
saw
do
this
hate that.
reel the other day and I was like, oh, I feel so called out. And she's like, I feel such a joy when I open the dryer and those clothes are still damp. It's like the dryer is sending me a reward. Like, I'm not done yet. And it's not like you just put it on for another 15 minutes. You're running that whole cycle again.
Yeah, you're like, not yet.
Yeah. And the dryer's like, don't
Ugh.
worry, girl. I got you. You're not ready. I'm not either.
That's so funny. That's so
Yeah.
true too. Because you're like, okay, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Um,
What
it's
about
interesting. I
you?
feel like my 2%'s like a different version, but like I guess it's not cleaning, but I randomly my body was just like, we awake at like 6:30. And I was like, okay, fine, we awake. And like,
Meanwhile, I think that's sleeping in if I make it to 6:30.
no way. I'm such a night owl that I'm like, if
Yeah.
yeah, on my days off, I'm like, I would love to get up at 9 if possible.
Oh my gosh. No. I
I
think my
know.
sister would
But
think I was dead if I slept in until 9. Like, if it's going like 7, she's starting to worry.
whoa, that's wild.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe this is personal specific, but I was so proud of myself. um, and so I got up, I did because I had done my closing shift, so I didn't really have a lot to
Yeah.
clean. But I got to Target like right when it opened, and
There
so it
you
was just
go.
like a whole lot of nobody. And
Yeah.
then I needed jeans, so I got to the mall right when there was nobody too. I didn't even know that the food court had anything that was open, but I got a treat because I didn't know that Chick-fil-A was even open for breakfast in the mall. I was like talking to her. I was like, "Who even comes here this early?" So it's the workers, if you're
There you
wondering.
go.
Um, but yeah, so I just felt like even though I was at the mall like 30 minutes early, it was just something where it would have been more stressful to come back, drop off the Target, do all the things. And
Yeah.
I felt like I just made like an intentional, cozy decision of just moving slower. And I feel like that's part of me with like resetting nervous system things of just
Yeah.
making the choice to move slower versus be the most efficient. And like I actually do feel like the 15-minute tidy is the same vein of that, because even though it's like, okay, the
Sure.
quote unquote efficient of 15 minutes, but really what you're doing is you're helping your brain not overload. Okay, now you have one day and
Exactly.
45,000 things to do. So
Right,
yeah, I
exactly.
think it's similar vibes, but
Love it. Oh, so good.
yeah.
I need to pull up a DM from one of our cozy detectives
Yay.
that I'm going to read for 2%. Steph said, I'm listening to your throwback social media episode with the office cozy tips, and I wanted to share that I am a teacher, so I have a classroom, not a traditional office. But the way
Ooh,
I make my classroom cozier is that I always turn the overhead lights on the lowest setting, and I have twinkle
nice.
lights and a standing lamp with a daylight light bulb instead. The kids every year tell me they love the vibe and my room, and I think the lighting, like the ones you both suggested, has a lot to do with it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That'd be like my favorite. Talk about Miss Frizzle, I'd be like, I'm living in this classroom now.
Yeah, and that's what when I was in a high school, I did the same thing. Like I just kept my like the overhead lights on and just had lamps and twinkle lights and like window lighting, and it
Yeah.
it just makes such a difference because I don't think I know our brains were not meant to live under fluorescent lighting
Yeah.
all day every day. Like you just can't
Yeah.
process that much light.
Absolutely. Again, and I feel like that's one of those things where like they say, again, maybe this is a myth, I don't know. But one of those things where they talk about having like a mint before a test because it helps your brain focus. I feel like not having all those lights right in my face would help me focus too. Like still got to see, but
Yeah.
not, I don't know, in a hospital room, you know? Sometimes it'd be looking
Right,
like that.
exactly. So,
Well,
thanks
thank
for
you.
sending that to us, Steph. We appreciate it.
Yes, thanks, Steph. That was so fun. And I feel like it's cool too to be like, okay, that is not traditional office, but it is a way that you have your classroom be cozy. Like that's your environment. And that's
Right,
like even
your workspace.
like a
Mhm.
huge office. You know what I mean? It's like your office is kind of the
Yeah,
corner of that, and then your workspace is all the rest of it. And so expanding that
right,
even
and then
more.
you're, like, impacting and expanding the coziness of the tiny humans.
Absolutely. 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 Well, thank you for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Blanket Fort Files Pod. Send us your 2% cozy. Please subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. And then join us next week in the Blanket Fort, where we'll discuss the coziness of 90s butter moms.
Alright.